drinking that happens in the Bible, but there's a lot of verses that warn of drunkenness, right? And so to say, well, hey, Satan will use things and make them good. No, like that's the beauty of the minds we've been given and the gifts, God gives us this discernment of like, hey, how are we going to use this for good, right? There's just 1,000 things. Like, I mean, even a gun is how people, shot food and fed themselves. And it's like, well, guns do, like, does Satan in on guns or knives or like anything, right? Like, I just think, hey, I think that the idea would be, there are things that are inherently wrong that we're supposed to flee from. That's pretty obvious, right? But they're not things. They're not like technical.
It's kind of like the printing press. The printing press came out and it helped like publish good books in the Bible, especially. But
and piles of filth is written. So it's like, I don't know. I think it's a great question because that's how people want to live. And it's for sure, here again, this is me just stereotyping Dutch people, but it's for sure how I feel as a Dutch person, or like how I feel like I was raised.
Just don't do anything.
It's just black and white because it's just the easiest, right? Like we draw a line in the sand, and literally that word was used as a kid. Yeah. It's like we have to draw a line in the sand somewhere, which is fair as a parent. You do, like, it's not easy, right? But it's this idea of like, hey, no, you actually as a young person, and there's an age, and I don't know where it is as a parent. There's people that are way further along in the parenting journey that are qualified to comment, but it's this idea of like, no, you ultimately want your child. You want their heart to be in the right spot, and once their heart is in the right spot, they will feel convicted for, like, they'll have to figure out their own journey, and it may not look the same as their parents. And then parents that are controlling are struggling because their child's not convicted of all the same things. No, we're all given our own conscience, and God works in our lives in different periods of time. So I just feel like, hey, there's 1,000 little decisions every day that we make. And I mean, it's a really valid point, because the phone thing in particular, because obviously even if you're never doing the wrong thing on your phone, just the amount of time you spend there is a problem. But yeah, I just feel like, boy, you really want to be careful. Paintbrushing things is dangerous and bad because they are used for bad, and this devil will use them. Because I mean, he'll get us in church, like he'll distract us by what someone's wearing or whatever. It's like he'll get us anywhere we can, right? And that's just because we're sinful, and so it's pretty easy, right? Yeah. But
I agree. Okay, another listener question. I think a lot of people are waiting for the boomers to pass away, so a lot of their money and assets can be transferred to the next generation. Could you imagine how many homes will come up on the market as they pass away? There's an estimated 9 billion baby boomers in Canada right now, aged from 60 to 80, and they hold about 50% of the wealth. The next 10 to 20 years will be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, a lot of squandering wealth.
Any thoughts on that?
A lot of squandering wealth. Well, I'm waiting. Just kidding. Mom and Dad, just kidding. Bad joke.
I'm going to get a couple books maybe, so.
Big library. Dad has a big library. I think inheritance is really unhealthy.
Okay,
let's get
to inheritance, but let's talk about this first. On the real estate side, are there going to be a huge influx in homes because so many boomers are dying, and this wealth, do you think, is just going to go to the kids and get blown?
No, I think it's already happening slowly. I don't think it's not, there's probably not a stat that says what amount of homes that had no mortgage are now taking on a mortgage. But if that was a stat, my prediction would be that it's increasing. There's a lot of places that are mortgage free, and it's a boomer that owns his home, and it's worth $2.5 million in West Van, or $4 million or whatever. And now they take on a $400,000 mortgage. Maybe the father has a pile of investment income. He can afford a bit of a mortgage. He puts a mortgage on his home. That's a down payment for his kid. They buy an apartment in Coquitlam for $700,000, right? I think that's happening. And I think that the natural progression is still more and more debt all the time. If you look at the general trend, like, we're not seeing that liquidation of wealth and now people taking on like
less debt.
We're not. We're still seeing debt increasing around the entire world because our
Hey guys, if you enjoy that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show? That would help a lot in creating more content, improving the quality of the content, putting the production value, getting more guests on, and me being able to spend more time and energy towards it. So if you're interested in doing that, you can click up here and it'll take you to a support page. But you can also subscribe to the podcast by clicking over here and doing that. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.